What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 88 of the daily antivirus edition of Roll with the Fox. So, Enrique and I were just talking, and I said I can't wait to hit episode 100. I am enjoying this. I feel the privilege of doing this, but I need to move on to other things now. So, guys, one of the things, and it'd be interesting what you guys think. Episode 100 would be Sunday, June 21st. If we do episode 99 and cut it off there, it would be on Saturday, June 20th. Summer solstice, beginning of the summer. So it has some meaning. Plus, it would drive everybody crazy, I think, including myself. There's something to be said about that. Maybe that people are going to remember it better if it's 99 rather than 100, nicely packaged in a bow, and we put it on the side. So, guys, let me know what you think. I'm curious. Start your questions, guys. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do mount escapes. At least we're going to start. Depending where the questions take us, we may go other places. Maybe even outside. What? No.
Academy escapes.
All right, let's get to it. So, guys, when you mount it, first of all, it doesn't matter what he's doing to you, but you got to make sure you should try to have your head up. This is not a good place to be mounted. Unless you try to, well, no-gi, this is going to be a little bit harder, but, oh, yes. So, guys, be engaged, okay? Think about it this way. If you mount it in a self-defense MMA scenario, you get in the hip, all right? So you need to escape. So first of all, I want to bring my feet close to my butt, as close as possible. You're going to get a lot higher amplitude, the big word of the day, if your feet are close to your butt than out here, and certainly more than here. This is about as high as I can go. This is about as high as I can go. This is a lot higher, okay? Now, I tend to use two mount escapes. One very effective one is kipping, which guys sort of, they sort of make, very short, sort of, to me it looks like spawning fish, but it's a good way to enter into the legs. I'm not a big fan of it. Just the reason for me is it's my lower back, because you kind of make a very rapid up and down movement while you're twisted, and the guy is trying to change his weight. So I don't want somehow something snapping my back, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm done for the day, maybe for the week. So to me, there's two very effective ones, and they're dramatically different. In self-defense / MMA. It's a trap and roll, which is very ineffective in grappling context, unless you have some very very beginner. So let's look at the MMA and self-defense scenario first. So when you have somebody, they're going to be sitting on your hips because they need a base. So if they're kind of like forward trying to swim, they're not hitting you. All right. So usually they're going to be posturing up and they're going to be on your hips. So you can arch. Are we going to fight and then I will explain things after? So guys, there's two ways I want to get him up. I need him to put his hands on the mat. So one is to arch. And guys, you want to go as high as possible. Okay. The other one is if there's a real threat of getting hit, you could do it a little bit quicker, just bumping forward with your leg. All right. As soon as his mat hit the floor, you're gonna swim inside and trap it. Guys, if you're on the receiving end, you know what? Let me trap the other side. Look, Enrique's palm is up. Okay. Don't have it down because you're gonna go over your hand. You're gonna get a wrist lock, all right? Sometimes quite bad. So I want to trap it at the elbow, guys. If I trap it at the wrist, this doesn't do a whole lot. So if you need to, you may have to swim more than once. The other thing is, you want to keep your feet so close. Sometimes you don't have the flexibility where there is no space for him to grapevine you. Enrique cannot grapevine me right now. I'm not a fan of grapevine just because grapevine me. I've seen guys pop their own knee, grapevining, and popping the other guy's knee. But grapevine is pretty easy actually to get rid of. All I need to do is straighten out my leg, and now I'm done. Straighten it out, swim it in. So, again, I need him to put his hands on the mat. And sort of whether if he puts his hands, it's not as good as the elbows. But even if he just puts his hands on, as I swim in, now I collapse his arm, which is kind of straight. All right. Now, I want to trap the foot on the side that I'm going to. Okay. If you trap the other side, it's not going to do anything for you, because then he can post. All right. And now, guys, you're not turning. You're not log rolling him. You're arching and looking over your shoulder. Guys, you want to go as high as you possibly can and come up. This is when people say, oh, thank God I'm safe. Now the guy traps your arm and can start to attack. All right? So first thing, as soon as you land, so bump him forward, okay? Trap the arm, trap the leg, and then arch as high as you possibly can. As you're coming up, swim your hands inside, posture on him. Now you can congratulate yourself on a job well done. And then you can start passing guard. So, that's probably, if you're in a self-defense or MMA scenario, that's probably the most effective one to use. All right? That assumes that you don't have somebody that's kind of savvy swimming around. That all they're doing is just kind of sitting on you and starting to tee off.
John Grappler is asking, how about recovering from high mount and S mount?
We're going to go over that. All right? So, guys, understand that if you mount it, you're in a horrible position. So expect a battle. That's one of the things we spoke about. This jiu-jitsu is not magic. There's a reason why this is a bad position. It's a bad position because it's not easy to escape.
And as far as the episodes, Crash Test Tommy and the Lots of Peer agree on 99, and the lot says 99 symbolizes the path that never ends.
Yeah, I like that too. 100 means kind of like we're sort of done, which we're not done, because we're gonna do more Roll with the Fox. It's just we're gonna do it on a back to normal schedule. So again, guys, understand that if he opens his legs and he's interested in swimming, he's going to be more like this. Okay? But when he's here, he might be hitting you, but there's not going to be a lot of force behind these. If he's really interested in pushing forward, trap the arm, trap the leg, and guys, arch. Swim your hands in, get a good posture. Now say, yeah, congratulations, job well done. Guys, I want to address one issue. I know a lot of people do this. I'm not a fan. See what I'm doing differently? I'm going to turn the relevant. So, same thing. Can somebody tell me what I did differently on this one from the previous ones. And why I don't like it that way. And Rick gave you a little bit of a hint. I'll give you a bigger hint once we wait a few seconds and 10 seconds and stuff like that.
Charlie Human says skydiving with the arm.
I like that term. Skydiving with the arm.
GM Baseball says give him your arm to get armbarred. Adolfo says your arm is cheese in the mousetrap. Alad says you stretched out your hand. Crash Test Tommy, arm left out, bad news.
Guys, man, you've been paying attention. Very, very good. Yes, if you come into any Jiu-Jitsu Academy and they practice this mount escape, majority of the people are going to be doing this. You get to be on the receiving end now. So, Ayuda. Congratulations on escaping my mount.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you go to most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academies, including mine, and I have explained this to my students, majority of the people are going to be using that arm. Yeah, it's sort of like you punching the guy off you. Oh, congratulations on that. You escaped this mount straight, straight into an arm lock. So, if you're going to put your arm anywhere, it's on, guys, not here. Yeah, we're making omelets. Okay? So that's, I think, that's one of the, if you go to a school that emphasizes self-defense, this is the one you're going to learn with, maybe some slight tweaks, possibly this. That's probably the best for self-defense or straight like MMA where the guy is just starting to tee off on you. Okay? And there's a good reason for that. While in self-defense, focused academies, this is taught because this is probably the single most effective and simple escape from the mount if you sort of face the threat of strikes. Yes, Mike.
Adolfo Ferranda is asking Fox, I've seen Danaher teach something he calls the power shrimp before using the regular shrimp. Do you use this too?
I'm not sure what the power shrimp is. I'm not sure what John refers to, and if we're gonna continue to go like right now, I'm gonna go into the purely grappling stage. So if that's not, you could always put the clip or the reference so I can see. I'm not very good with names, you know that already. So if I see it, I can give you an answer. I'm a big fan of big shrimps. Not to eat. Personally, when I eat, I like those little shrimps. I don't like the big shrimp to eat. But for jiu-jitsu, I'm a fan of a big shrimp. We call them jumbo shrimp. And the reason for that is if you shrimp too much, there's just too much space. You're just disengaged. Especially if you're in a bad... You tend to shrimp when you're in a bad position. So if you shrimp so far away from the guy that he no longer has any contact with you, that's a good thing. So err on the side of shrimping too much. So I don't know if that's what it means, power shrimp. Maybe I'll call it jumbo shrimp. I'm not quite sure. But let's look at probably, for me, this is probably the most effective escape from the mount in a grappling scenario. And it's basically elbow escape, even though technically it's not. It's a more of a forearm escape, okay? So guys, understand that when you're in a bad position, you cannot... What people try to do is they try to have their cake and eat it too. They kind of try to be square up to the guy and at the same time elbow escape. That's not going to work. You have to expose something. what you're doing in this case is exposing your back. And I know that. So I know if I feel him moving towards my back, I will react immediately. But first, I want to frame, okay? So I want to frame, I don't frame my hand, I frame my forearm across his torso, lower torso. And basically, guys, sometimes his legs are real tight, real tight. So what I do is kind of arch into it, and then when I arch back to the other side, there's enough for me to drop my elbow in. But where I need to do it is I need to use my forearm. And I'm not pushing, I'm framing, okay? My foot has to be flat. If it's slightly off, he can go under the leg. So my leg has to be, guys, can you see any daylight under my foot? Can you see any space? Even 3 millimeters. Okay? How do I make that happen? I lift my hips slightly up. So my hips are not resting on the hips. They're resting basically, they're almost supported by my right leg, which is straight. Okay? And I just get underneath. Guys, sometimes it's very difficult. Like if he tries to stop you, you could always use the other leg to assist. Once I'm under, guys, now I'm moving. This is where things get interesting. If he doesn't move, I will shrink and try to get my foot on the hips. Or guys, I would stop here. If I can do this, I will stop here. I will not put him in full guard. If you watched most of the episodes, you know why. Okay? So this is where I would pause. But you have to pay attention when you get his foot. So when you go from mount to effectively half guard, that's when things could change quickly. And that's where you have to pay attention to. So again, I frame. Guys, very important. This is the starting point. Frame. All right? I don't frame like this because then he can actually use my arm against me. So I want to keep my elbow tight. Okay? I just had a good idea. So elbow tight, guys. And right now, there's a gap under my leg. So notice what happens when I post on my left leg and lift my hips up. This allows me to drop my elbow in, but I'm actually using my forearm to brace. Okay? If I can't get the other leg, if I cannot get under his leg, I will use my left leg to assist. And now I'm out. Now, this is when things get interesting. Okay? So I bring my legs kind of, I'm pinching them right now. Guys, my hands go in position to frame. But if I can shrink and put my foot on the hip, I will. And I will immediately go into offensive. How dare you put me in mount? Yeah, now you're going to pay. Tap, tap, tap. So let's look at that critical point where usually a high-level guy will move into the mounted position. And there's a reason why I keep my legs kind of close right in that critical moment. So again, if my butt and my hips are on the floor, there's a little bit of space. A little bit, not a lot. But if I take them off the floor, posting on my left foot, now there's no space. I frame. If I can't get my foot over, I will assist. Bring my mount. And this is when I'm going to pause. Because sometimes you have to, as this is happening, guys, as he's going to my back, instead of continuing to turn away from him, I start to go square to the ceiling, basically flat, okay, to turning to him. I don't want to turn to him because right now, believe it or not, I'm going to make something happen here. So as this is happening, so I just escaped. As I see this happening, I'm going to stay flat. I'm going to try to get under his foot. Okay? Notice Enrique slid pretty high. If he stayed further, a lot lower, guys, this is a lot easier. But if he's, a skilled guy is going to go high, so all I need is, you can swim a little bit. I got big feet, guys, so I have to do a lot of swimming. So as soon as I get hooked under, guys, I don't wait for him to just kick out. Because it's not that difficult. So as soon as we hear, I just lift. And I create a scramble, guys. I create space. So I don't drive up to get on top. I just create a scramble, and I'm trying to get my knee in the middle. It's the most important thing. Because if you got somebody real strong and starts to drag you into a triangle, not going to happen with the knee in the middle. So basically what I do is I dump him on his back, keep my hand on him, but not high, not certainly, yes, not under his armpit, certainly not. Not up high, kind of on the solar plexus where the ribs end, just so I can kind of, but most importantly, I want to get my knee in the middle. I bet you a lot of guys did not know there's a lot of intricacies in escaping the mount, huh? Yeah, guys, pay attention, because even with very simple, basic techniques that pretty much any white belt that's been training for 3 months knows, or do they really know? We talked about that, how Hodger can make fundamental techniques be so high level that even elite black belts cannot stop him. So let's stay on the same side. So again, I frame. I try to get under his leg. I can, so I use my outside leg. Now, as he's doing this, I get under his leg and I lift. Guys, don't lift. Now, if I lift toward my right, he's going to be very heavy. Just turn to him. You don't have to make a big movement. You don't have to shrimp. Just turn your body towards him and lift. As he's falling down, stay on him, and then knee in the middle. The harder you pull, the harder my fist is going to feel on your chest. Okay, and I'm out. Do we have any questions on that? Because I would like to get still to where the guy goes into high mount.
That's actually the question. Bo was asking about the S mount as well.
Well, let's see if we can get there. But that's, S mount. This gives you a little bit of an idea how to deal with S mount. All right, but let's go high mount, guys. If somebody mounts high, which means up, so think about it this way. You screwed up. He went high. So if somebody goes high, where do I want him to go? The obvious answer is low, but there's a pretty big difference, pretty long distance between my hips and my armpit. What is that, a foot, 2 feet? Whatever it is. It's a pretty long distance. It's not easy because now you don't have anything to frame with to push him back down. So, if somebody goes high and I don't want them high, there's 2 ways to deal with it. Get him back low, which is not easy, or make them go even higher than they wanted to go. Now for this, you're going to need some flexibility. So this may take a little bit of time. For some of you, especially if you started and you need to work off a little bit of the Thanksgiving turkey. So if I screwed up and Enrique's going high, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him just even a little bit higher. Now, the big mistake that people make is they're trying to get both feet at the same time. Okay? Guys, don't worry about that. If his left arm is higher, I'm going this way. Oh, but your right arm, I'm upside down. So whichever arm is higher, guys, so if this is high, this is the way I'm going to go. If his left arm is higher, I'm going to go the other way. Okay? So whichever arm is higher, That's sort of your cue. And also to the side that you're leaning. So as I'm pushing it up, what I'm going to do is bring my foot in front. Now, this is going to feel like, okay, I just stuck myself and I don't know what to do. So guys, start to, it's all right, I'll make it happen. So guys, start to kind of look over your shoulder. Is that a high five or 5 minutes left, Mike? I know what it is. I'm out.
It's a 5 of support.
Yeah. I'm out, guys. We are not doing Boston Crab. I'm not a fan of that, guys. There's some horrific injuries with that, so stay away from that. Don't even Google it. But I'm out. Are we doing this? Okay. We're doing this. We're doing it.
What did I do?
I'll tell you what you did. He started to lock in.
How?
Oh, you know how. You know how. So guys, this requires flexibility, but what you need to do is coming out the back way, 1 foot in. Do not try both. Usually the response for the guy on the top is sort of to just swim. You know? When you're in that position, you have no choice but to extend your arms. You're kind of screwed because your hips at that point don't do a whole lot. You can't bump him because your hips. He's sitting on your shoulders basically, so it's not gonna work. The bump forward is not gonna work. So you have to extend your arms. You know, again, this is really bad position, so you will have to put yourself at risk. So as he's coming up high, I'm coming out. All right. I'm going to use my hands, and now I'm going to start to roll over my right shoulder, guys. Not on your neck, on your right shoulder, and start looking forward. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now the sweet revenge comes. So that's how you deal with a high mount. All right? A lot of times when this happens, if you got somebody that's really good, they will swim, they may adjust, and you know, like as the adjustments are made, sometimes he may start to, you know, so if I'm not getting this done, so I'm trying to, you know, as I'm pushing forward, he's like, yeah, you saw what happened, right? As I'm pushing more forward, he's backing away, and now I'm back to the place that I would have preferred to be in the first place. So again, that initial escape may not work right away, may not work right away, but if you shoot somebody higher, they're gonna go back. And when they go back, that's when you go back into the original escape that you should have done in the very first place. You should have not let him slide up that high. But sometimes it happens, guys. I've been there. Why are you nodding your head? Did I've been there?
Yeah.
How many times?
I don't know. You've been training for like 30 years.
Not 30 years.
20. Yeah.
Not yet.
That's why I said for like.
All right.
I didn't state it as a
I will
hard
ban you
fact.
from using numbers from now on. No episodes, no seasons, no years, no nothing. No numbers from you. Do we have any questions? I'm going to try to cover S-mount real quick. All right. So S-mount. So, go back. So as the guy is transitioning into S-mount, go. That's my chance to catch him. That's why that point becomes very critical. So if I'm mounted and he's transitioning into S-mount, I'm looking for this. Right now, then I have something to play with. Okay? I'm looking for that foot to come up. That's in that transition, guys. That's when he's most vulnerable. Again, you have to pay attention to transitions. If you're looking to escape from an S-mount, from a static S-mount, it's going to be different from, it's going to be a lot harder from a static S-mount than from dynamic S-mount. Dynamic meaning as he's going into it, unless you missed that, that transition, then it's going to be just like it was static. So if you get caught static. Okay. So what I would try to do is, feel him leaning heavily back. So I will try to push into where there is not a lot of balance. So this is actually forcing him. He has to do something. So right now he's losing his balance. Okay? Also, don't forget, I've just created a little bit of space here. So if I can get both arms elbow deep. No, it's not gonna. So again, when you get in a rough position, which is static, try to see where the guy's base is the weakest and see if you can push him, bump him into that direction. Because he has to make some adjustments. They might be slight, but any slight adjustments give you the opportunity to bust out and escape.
And Lot Superior and Adolfo are asking, can we see that S-mount leg catch from another angle? I couldn't see it.
Which one? The first one?
The first one.
Dynamic? So anytime I get mounted.
Want to turn your head?
Yeah.
The other way.
I was this way, no? So it's too late now. So now, if there's a gap, I'm going under. Yeah, that's okay. I'll take that chance. Yeah. So if there's a gap, I'm going under because I missed that initial opportunity. But anytime, if I get mounted, I'm already looking for an elbow escape, right? So as I try to catch him with left or right. It doesn't matter. So I'm looking for that switch. Now, all I do is just lift. You know, if I want to stay in guard, I would just push his leg and stay in guard. But most often, I would just try to get up on top. So anytime you feel the guy's moving into an S-mount or taking it back, you gotta see, there's this very short window of opportunity for you to get under his leg with your own legs. As soon as you do, lift, because you're creating a scramble. And once you lift, I think a lot of people, a couple of people asked the same question when he and I rolled, whether it's gi or no gi, that we're swimming for underhooks. That's one of those underhooks. Just, you could see, like, literally, I went from being mounted to possibly S-mount weight. If you let him continue, you will be dismantled and submitted. That underhook allows me to just lift, continue to lift, get on top. So not only do I escape the submission or the bad position, I actually wind up in a superior position.
And one last question before we close out. Vincent MMA Life has been asking, Coach, how do you defend against knee strikes if you're on bottom side control? In one championship, these are legal.
All right. Which side do you want to do this in?
My right knee is my strong knee.
Okay. You got to move. Don't sit here and take hits. So come on, switch your knees then. You tried to hit me? No. It's for the viewers. It's for the viewers. Yes. Guys, anytime somebody's going to hit you, the rest of their body is supporting them in that endeavor. That gives you an opportunity to move. Move.
And last one, we'll fit in one more. Ryan D'Souza is asking, Fox, if you were on top mount and someone's trying to do the elbow knee escape on you, what would your follow up be?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, so if I'm on Enriquez, I'm gonna try to slide up. It becomes a bit of a scramble, but it's just question is who's got better execution. Yeah. Oh. Son of a. He's done. Are you done? Or would you like to fight some more? Yeah, you can see, I like to think I'm a high-level black belt. I know he is a high-level black belt. You can see, you have no choice. You have to move. So if I'm on top, I have to move. If you don't move, he's going to continue to improve his position until he escapes. So I got to try to do something to counter him. My counter would be to slide into S-mount, which failed. And then I'm transitioning. I'm trying with the gi, I would transition to bow and arrow choke. And I'm trying to control his arms and trying to pin him in a way that allows me to follow up with something. And as Mike said, we're out of time, guys. So guys, subscribe, like, share. Well, we're on YouTube, so that's the best thing. But guys, I appreciate if you put the links and stuff on Facebook too, and Instagram, and whatever else is there.
Help spread the great word.
Spread the great word, yes. So we'll keep you posted whether we're going to stop it at 99 on summer solstice. We'll come to summer and welcome hopefully more open days of training and everything else ahead. Or do we close it down? I think on some level it appeals to me, the 99, because I have a little bit of, just a little bit.
What if we finish at 98?
No, that's not a good number. I'm not sure. I don't know.
88?
No. Today's 88.
It's the last episode, guys.
No. I told you no numbers from you. So, and I lost my train of thought. Anyways, so on some level, at 99 would kind of bother me, but also it's kind of a nice metaphor for martial arts, which is a journey that should never end. You could always continue to learn, and kind of when you do 100, it's sort of like you've finished. It's sort of like there is no 99-yard dash. So I was going to go to a 100, but the more I'm thinking about it, maybe 99 is the right number. But anyways, we'll figure it out, guys. Stay well, stay safe, and be considerate.